The Stanley Cup can be awarded as soon as Monday evening. But on to bigger news, the Leafs make a trade. The Leafs trade Matt Fratton, Ben Scrivens, and a second-round pick in either 2014 or 2015 in exchange for Jonathan Bernier. Or as I've called him before, Jonathan Bernier. And now that he's in Toronto, I think some people are thinking he might take Reimer's job. I, however, don't think that. Okay, here's what this trade could be. The Leafs trade a young player in Fratton, but not that young, and maybe they don't think he's just gonna get to where they thought he would. A decent player, but an expendable asset. They also trade a goalie who, performed valiantly this past season, but really is not projected to be more than a backup. And a second-round pick that might not actually turn into anything, and it's expendable for the Leafs because they have a bunch of draft picks in this upcoming draft. And the Leafs acquired Jonathan Bernier, a former first-round pick, who he's hungry for some more starts, hungry to play some more games, performed very valiantly this past season, even though he was a backup. Could be a huge payoff. Now, here's what I think. The Leafs traded Ben Scrivens, a guy who really gets along with James Reimer. He's totally cool with the backup role, and wouldn't you know it, he's actually quite good at it. Oh, and according to CapGeek, he only makes $624K, making him one of the most affordable goalies in the entire league. And Matt Fratton, no, not the most amazing player ever, but we've seen he can go on decent streaks and he can play on your third or fourth line instead of, Colton Orr. And he may or may not get better, but even right now, he's fine. And a second-round pick that's going to come back to haunt the Leafs because the Kings draft pretty well, and you know he's going to be a star because it's the Leafs. And I just found out as I edit this video that the Leafs also traded away $500,000, continues Steve from the past, for a former first-round pick goalie who is just that, a former first-round pick. And a lot of fans are upset that a lot of fans don't like this trade. Let's make something clear, and I think I speak for a lot of Leaf fans out there. It would be fantastic if Jonathan Bernier was dynamite for the Leafs, because, he better be. And a lot of people are like, what? Who cares about the trade? The Leafs got an upgrade at the backup position. He could be a starter, but at very least it's an upgrade at the backup position. What's wrong with that? I'll tell you, a potential upgrade to the backup goalie should not cost you Matt Fratton in a second. And I would like nothing more than to be wrong. Because over the last few seasons, Leafs fans have gotten extremely excited about new coming goalies to the city, and then they ended up turning into a pumpkin. Maybe this could be the opposite of, why did they make that trade? Reimer's the guy, and he comes in and he's absolutely amazing. And I just got a text from one of the Leafs that was traded, Ben Scrivens. He has some things to say. Thank you to the Maple Leafs organization for giving me the opportunity to develop into an NHL goalie. Thanks to the fans and the city of Toronto for all the support and well wishes. The one bonus for Ben, I guess, is his wife is actually from California, so she gets to move closer to home. Something I want you to consider about this trade, a scout taught me this a few years ago. His name's Gus Katsaros. Follow him on Twitter at Cats Hockey. Cats is spelled with a K. Asset management. And this is a case of the Leafs trading 3 assets, that's 2 roster players and a draft pick, for 1, a roster player. So coming out of this trade, the Leafs have a gap now of 2 assets. And it frees up a roster spot, which means have fun with your free agency speculation. Because unless between now and free agency, the Leafs make some sort of trade where they trade 3 guys in exchange for 1 or 3 guys in exchange for 2, they have an extra spot and they can sign someone with that spot. Tim Connolly's a free agent. They're going to buy out Mike Komisarek. Leo Komarov may not come back. This could be a very busy summer for the Leafs. Now, that's my opinion. I also presented you with some other options. I want to know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment box. Who won this trade in your mind? What do you think? Initial thoughts? And also keep in mind, whether or not you think the Leafs won or lost this trade, you're not going to be right or wrong for at least a while. Fratton, Scrivens, and whoever that second-round pick turned out to be deserve their shot to prove themselves with the Kings, and Jonathan Bernier deserves his shot to prove himself with the Leafs. Although I would like to know what James Reimer thinks about all this. The fun's already started and they haven't even handed out the cup yet. Welcome to hockey.